In a stunning and rare unanimous decision, the Supreme Court delivered a 9-0 verdict on a major firearm confiscation case, Miller v. United States. The ruling, announced today, November 11, 2025, shocked legal experts and the nation, especially given the court's usual ideological divides on Second Amendment issues. At the heart of the case were red flag laws, statutes allowing temporary removal of firearms from those deemed a danger to themselves or others. Instead of a split decision, the justices found common ground. They upheld the core principle of red flag laws, but imposed strict new standards for their use. The verdict sets a constitutional blueprint for states, requiring clear and convincing evidence and robust due process before firearms can be seized. This decision marks a new chapter in America's gun debate, forcing both sides to engage with nuanced legal standards. For gun control advocates, the court's validation of red flag laws is a victory. For gun rights supporters, the new protections against government overreach are crucial. The ruling's unanimity gives it powerful authority, making it difficult for lower courts or legislatures to ignore. The national conversation on guns is far from over, but the court has provided a path forward. Now, the country must grapple with the practical implications of this historic and unexpected ruling. The case began in Oak Ridge, Colorado, with Daniel Miller, a retired mechanic whose behavior grew erratic after his wife's death. Concerned by Miller's online threats and isolation, his estranged son petitioned a local court under Colorado's red flag law, presenting social media posts and a sworn statement. A judge granted a temporary order without Miller present, and police peacefully removed his legally owned firearms. Outraged, Miller argued his rights were violated. His posts were protected speech and he'd committed no crime. Backed by a gun rights group, Miller challenged the law's constitutionality, claiming it lacked due process and set a dangerous precedent. The case quickly gained national attention as a test of red flag laws after the Supreme Court's Bruin decision. A federal court sided with the state, but the 10th Circuit reversed, finding the process used in Miller's case failed to provide adequate due process. This created a split with other appellate courts that had upheld similar laws. The Supreme Court agreed to hear the case to resolve this pressing national conflict. What started as a local dispute now threatened to reshape gun laws across America. The stakes were high. The outcome would determine how far states could go in restricting gun rights in the name of public safety. The nation watched as Miller v. United States reached the highest court. At issue was the constitutionality of extreme risk protection orders, civil processes allowing temporary firearm removal from those deemed dangerous. In Colorado, a judge could grant an initial ex parte order based solely on the petitioner's evidence, without the gun owner present. This was meant for crisis situations, with a full hearing required within 14 days, where the state had to prove ongoing danger by clear and convincing evidence. Miller's legal team didn't dispute the government's right to disarm truly dangerous individuals, but argued the process was flawed. They claimed the ex parte order relied on one-sided subjective claims, violating due process and the Second Amendment. The state, backed by public health groups, argued the law was a vital, temporary measure to prevent tragedy, similar to restraining orders in domestic violence cases. They insisted the prompt hearing provided sufficient opportunity for the gun owner to contest the order. The Supreme Court was tasked with drawing the constitutional line. How much process is due before a fundamental right can be suspended? The answer would set a national standard for all red flag laws. The stakes extended far beyond Colorado. The Supreme Court heard two powerful arguments, one defending individual liberty, the other championing public safety. Miller's team warned that red flag laws, especially ex parte orders, created a guilty until proven innocent system, open to abuse and lacking historical precedent. They argued the Second Amendment is a safeguard against both personal threats and government overreach, and should not be suspended based on predictions. The government countered that the Second Amendment, like all rights, is not absolute. They presented evidence that red flag laws save lives and are narrowly tailored to address real threats, not to ban guns. They cited historical laws disarming the dangerous as precedent, urging the court to allow modern solutions for modern problems. The debate was not just about guns, but about how the Constitution adapts to new challenges. The justices faced a choice: protect rights at all costs, or allow targeted interventions to prevent harm. Their decision would redefine the balance between liberty and safety in America. The Supreme Court's unanimous opinion was a careful compromise. The justices upheld the constitutionality of red flag laws, affirming the government's compelling interest in preventing violence and suicide, but they imposed strict new due process requirements. Ex parte orders are allowed only with direct, credible evidence of imminent danger, not speculation or political speech. The court set a higher evidentiary standard, clear and convincing evidence, even for temporary orders. Full adversarial hearings must be held quickly, within days, not weeks. This framework satisfied both wings of the court. Liberals secured validation of red flag laws. Conservatives won robust protections for rights and due process. The ruling makes it harder to abuse red flag laws while preserving their use in genuine crises. The government can act in emergencies, but only with extreme care and swift judicial review. This balanced approach forged the rare 9-0 consensus. The decision now sets the standard for all future gun safety laws. The Miller decision will reshape gun laws nationwide. For states without red flag laws, the ruling offers a clear constitutional template for new legislation. For states with existing laws, many statutes will need revision, raising evidentiary standards and shortening timelines for hearings. Judges must now demand concrete, verifiable evidence before granting firearm seizures. Law enforcement and courts will need new training and protocols to comply with the Supreme Court's requirements. The ruling signals the court's willingness to allow gun regulation, but only if it's fair and respects procedural rights. This nuanced approach will influence future cases on everything from assault weapon bans to magazine limits. The decision is both a green light and a warning: regulate, but do so carefully. The legal landscape for gun rights and public safety has fundamentally changed. States and courts must now adapt to this new constitutional reality. For Americans, the Miller decision changes the landscape of gun ownership and public safety. Law-abiding gun owners gain stronger protections against baseless firearm seizures, thanks to higher standards and rapid hearings. But the ruling also empowers families and law enforcement to act in genuine crises, using a constitutionally sound process. Red flag laws, now more durable and fair, could become a nationwide tool for preventing tragedy. The decision offers hope for reducing suicides and mass shootings, while respecting individual rights. The debate moves away from extremes, focusing on effective, balanced policies. The Supreme Court's ruling won't satisfy all, but it provides a stable legal foundation for future consensus. The challenge now is to balance the right to bear arms with the right to safety, a task that will define America's next chapter. The nation's conversation on guns has entered a new era, shaped by this landmark decision.